Welcome back, strangers. We've traveled all the way to Connecticut. Danbury right now, something we just tried to open and see our gorgeous view in this hotel.
It's a building.
Yeah, it's a wall. But we drove 9.5 hours here. What are we gonna be doing?
Dinner and a movie with Annabelle.
You know the real Annabelle looks different?
Yes, it's a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah, Raggedy Ann doll. So I'm really excited to see her. She's probably gonna be in a case, but that's what we're gonna be doing in this video, is checking it out, give you some history about the real Annabelle and see what she's really like. We had to sign a waiver to do this.
It says if we get possessed, we won't sue them.
Yeah, and there's gonna be other artifacts there from the Warren Museum and
Shadow doll, a mirror from the Conjuring.
Yeah.
I think something else.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get some cool stuff filmed. This one's gonna be about Annabelle. So what else do you know about the real Annabelle? Did that really happen?
Mm-hmm.
It's based
Something
on a
about
true
nurses.
story.
And the nurses are like, you can live in this doll, that's fine. And then it's a demon.
Does the Annabelle demon have a name, since Valak and stuff has a name?
They make it seem like it's Valak, so that's a great question, because I don't know how Valak's in the doll and somewhere else.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be in Coming Home. Probably not.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know.
I'm excited for this movie. I'm excited to meet the real Annabelle. It's gonna be a fun night. We get to have dinner. Do you think they'll have drinks? I wonder if they're gonna have souvenirs where you can buy like real ones.
Probably not. I don't. Buy real what?
I meant buy like real imitation ones, not like.
We're not
movie
buying
ones.
an Annabelle.
What? I brought cash for the gift shop. They did have souvenirs and a cash bar at the undisclosed location for an evening with Annabelle. The dinner is put on once or twice a year by Judy Spera, the daughter of Ed and Lorraine Warren, and her husband, Tony Spera, who is the director of the New England Society of Paranormal Research, and the current curator of the Warren Occult Museum. When you buy your tickets online, you get an email with the secret location of the event, and instructions for you to sign and fill out the waiver to bring with you, just so you know that there's a chance that you might take something unwanted home with you. Along with Annabelle, Tony and Judy brought a few other dangerous and cursed items from the museum with them. There was the Conjuring mirror, which was used to perform conjuring rituals in an effort to summon spirits in a form of crystal gazing. You can stare at the mirror repeatedly and ask to see spirits. Many are tempted to use the mirror to contact loved ones, but you aren't always guaranteed to encounter someone you know or even a friendly spirit. The best way to use the mirror is in a pitch black room, illuminated by a single red light bulb, with a chair sitting in front of the mirror so you can stare into your reflection while repeatedly attempting to conjure the spirit you wish to communicate with. The mirror didn't actually appear in the Conjuring movies, and is from another case the Warrens worked on. The Conjuring mirror is dangerous because its connection to the evil and inhuman or demonic entities it was used to summon and communicate with. Would you take a selfie in the Conjuring mirror? The creepiest item, purely based off of its appearance, that they brought from the museum was the shadow doll. It was used to inflict pain and suffering upon its victims. Its sole purpose was to wreak havoc upon the innocent. The shadow doll is said to be able to visit you in your dreams if you take a picture of it and dare to look into its eye. Eventually, your dreams of the doll would become so nightmarish that you would die of a heart attack or by not being able to wake from your hellish nightmare. The doll was created by black magic by using human and animal bones. It has been responsible for several deaths before being bought by a couple at an antique shop. The couple suffered nightmares of the doll, and the husband would wake up with scratches all over his neck and back. Fortunately, since then, the doll has been kept safely away from the public in the Warren's Occult Museum. Would you dare to take a picture of the shadow doll? The surprise item that Tony and Judy brought with them from the museum was the remnants of Flight 401, an Eastern Airlines plane that crashed in the Florida Everglades on December 29, 1972. The crash killed 101 people aboard, including the pilots, flight engineer, and 2 of the 10 flight attendants. Fortunately, 75 passengers and crew survived. The horrific crash occurred when the cockpit crew failed to notice that the autopilot had been disconnected. The pilots had become preoccupied with a burnt-out landing gear indicator when the aircraft gradually began to lose altitude and crashed. Equipment and wreckage salvaged from the crash site is said to be haunted by the victims of the plane crash. These paranormal encounters were first documented in the book The Ghost of Flight 401, which led to many other books, documentaries, and movies based on the different encounters believed to be caused by the salvaged wreckage of this terrible crash. Would you want to keep a piece of the debris of Flight 401 in your home? Before unveiling Annabelle and the other museum items, Tony told us about each item. He also showed us a video tour of the Warren Museum with Ed Warren as the tour guide. It was amazing. We also got to see videos of exorcisms and other cases the Warrens had worked on. Tony told us that most of the Conjuring movies had been exaggerated and changed from their real-life events they were based on to make a better movie. However, the Annabelle parts in the very first Conjuring were closer to what actually happened, with the only major changes being the appearance of the doll. I can't blame them for changing how Annabelle looks in the movies. It's hard to imagine a giant Raggedy Ann doll doing the things that the cursed doll reportedly did. I haven't seen the movie yet, and I don't know how accurate it is. Do you think the new movie is more fact or fiction? Strangers, I want to tell you the stories that Tony told us that allegedly happened once Annabelle came home to the Warren Occult Museum. The Warrens had a terrible ride home with the doll. They knew they were bringing back something evil. As they drove, their car would jerk around the corners and it would stall out on them, even though they had no prior problems with the car. It got so bad that Ed stopped the car and took out a vial of holy water and sprinkled it on Annabelle, who was in the back seat, while making the sign of the cross at the doll. Luckily, Ed managed to calm down the doll enough to make it home safely. Once they got Annabelle into the Warren Museum, it appeared like the spirit had calmed down or had left the doll completely. They didn't have any problems with the doll for a couple of years until a priest came to visit the Warrens' home. Before leaving, the priest wanted to see the infamous doll that had been infested by devils. When Ed took him down into the museum, Annabelle was sitting in a chair with a little rope around her so visitors wouldn't touch the doll. When the priest saw Annabelle, he went over and picked her up. He threw her across the room and proclaimed, "God is more powerful than the devil." Ed was stunned. He had asked the father not to touch or provoke anything in the museum because of the evil contained inside. Ed told the priest he never should have touched the doll. Yes, God is more powerful than the devil, but no man or priest is. On his way home that day, on Route 84, the priest crashed his brand new car when he lost control and hit a tractor-trailer truck almost head-on. Luckily, he wasn't killed, but he was injured. A week and a half later, the priest called Ed sobbing on the phone. He told Ed that he should have listened to him and not provoked the doll. The priest said that the last thing he remembered before the crash was looking up into his rearview mirror and seeing an image of Annabelle before losing control of his car. A few years later at the museum, a young man, after hearing the story of Annabelle, ran up and began taunting the doll, asking her to do something right there if she was real. Ed told the young man he had to leave after he provoked Annabelle. 3 hours later, the man died when he hit a tree head-on while riding his motorcycle. Tony said, "There's a lesson from this. You do not challenge evil, you do not challenge the demonic or the unknown, because you can't even comprehend what you are asking. It's like if you put a bullet in a revolver and spin it. You have 1 in 6 chances of getting shot. When you decide to pull the trigger, you never know what's going to happen. You might be safe, or you might shoot yourself. It's the same way when you knowingly open yourself up to the unknown or the demonic. You can't know for sure what you're inviting into your life, so be safe and take care of yourself. Would you take the risk to meet Annabelle?" It's the day after meeting Annabelle. Do you feel any different?
No.
No difference? Did you touch the box or anything?
I did by accident. I'm a little scared.
I touched it a couple of times by accident too. Like there's
Yeah, like when I went to stand next to it, I hit it with my elbow and was like, oh God, I'm gonna be possessed now.
Yeah.
But I'm fine.
Yeah. Was Annabelle the scariest thing there? What about the other doll?
I think the shadow doll was scarier looking.
Yeah, it was definitely scarier in person than Annabelle. But
it had teeth coming out of it.
Yeah,
like 2 little fang teeth coming out.
Yeah.
That was creepy.
I knew more about Annabelle, like what she actually looked like, than the shadow doll too. So
yeah.
What about the Conjuring mirror? We took a picture in it.
We did. I actually got a really good picture of us in it.
Yeah. So.
It was a little dirty. Like it looked like it had some suspicious stains on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff seemed a little dirty, so.
Yeah, I mean, granted, that probably sits in the museum and just gets like covered in dust, but it looked like something had peed on it, and it like had dripped down, and the dust and stuff had stuck to it, like it was.
What if that was blood from a victim?
It was not blood.
It could have been blood.
It wasn't blood.
So, what did you think of the dinner overall and meeting Annabelle?
The dinner was fun.
Yeah.
The food was terrible.
Yeah, it was buffet style Italian. It was
no mashed potatoes.
Yeah. Next time if you guys do that, do mashed potatoes if someone ever sees this that does that. So meeting Judy and Tony, that was really cool. Judy's Lorraine's daughter and Tony's her husband, and Tony was really into it. He was like a really good host, told all the cool stories.
How did you get the dog?
And they had videos. So what did you think of the video tours and everything?
They were okay. There was one exorcism video the Maurice one, that one was pretty crazy.
The Frenchy one from the Nun / opening of Conjuring. So
spoiler alert.
yeah, we saw the real video, the full one. So that was creepy. Rebecca was like trying to break it down afterwards.
Yeah, like how'd they get that to happen? How was that a thing?
Yeah.
It was very strange.
I like the old tours of the museum with Ed, getting to hear him tell the stories, and then yeah. So you can see how like Tony was like molded from Ed. It's pretty cool. It's a fun night. So if you're ever in Monroe, Connecticut, and they're having this thing, it's definitely worth checking out. Hopefully we'll do more videos talking about just this area because New England's really creepy. So would you meet Annabelle or do this again? Would you recommend it?
I'd recommend it, but I feel like if you did it again, it'd be the exact same thing. And like, the tickets are almost $200. And I don't think I'd pay $200 to watch this stuff again. Like, it was a good experience. I thought it was fun, but I wouldn't pay to do the same thing over again.
Yeah, it's definitely worth doing it, even though it is expensive. It was a really fun night. It was a long time that you film, do everything. They talk to you.
Yeah, it was like 3.5 hours.
Yeah, they were open. They definitely made sure you got your money's worth. I think they were really cool and accepting. They would talk. So Judy was kind of quiet. She didn't really
Judy doesn't like that stuff.
Yeah, she does not like the paranormal, so.
Yeah, so it's like she comes just to show face, but
yeah,
you can tell she doesn't really like it.
Yeah, doesn't like profiting off of it. I liked how like they seem really down to earth though. Like they didn't seem like they were just trying to bullshit you. Sassy's so excited. She's had a fun trip.
Yeah, she had to sit in the hotel room. She didn't get to meet Annabelle, but other than that, she had fun.
Yeah, we didn't have to worry about her tearing Annabelle up and us getting sued.
It would have been interesting though if we could have brought her to see if she like reacted or growled or anything to any of the stuff they had.
I thought about that for the battleship. Like if we had gone down the battle.
With us.
Yeah.
Because we're going back. The dog's coming.
You're gonna do the battleship?
Yeah, you're not going on there alone.
Yeah. I thought about if we had done the battleship with Michael, Blake, and Joey, like if the dog would have freaked out the whole time. Like that would have been really
She probably would have with the stuff slamming. She probably would have yipped at it.
But thanks for watching, everyone. It was a fun night meeting Annabelle. Definitely recommend it. Thanks for everything, because this is what we used our YouTube money for. So thank you for everyone who's ever supported the channel by liking, commenting, subscribing, super chatting, Patreoning, any other way, sharing it with your friends, because it's all helped us get to this, filming and meeting Annabelle, getting the Shadow Doll, Conjuring Mirror, Battleship, and what else was the Bellamy Mansion. All of that was literally a year's worth of YouTube monies and support. So gotta start saving up for the next adventures. We really appreciate everything. As always, stay strange.